Riding is dangerous, but following garbage advice makes it deadly. The wisdom passed down in garages and forums, it is poison that puts riders in hospital beds. We aren't talking about oil changes. We are talking about the split-second decisions that determine if you survive. We are exposing 15 dangerous myths you need to purge from your brain immediately. Stop trusting the lies. It is time to separate fact from fiction. Number 15. Earplugs are dangerous because you can't hear traffic. We start with a belief that seems logical on the surface. I need to hear the cars around me. If I wear earplugs, I'll be deaf to sirens, horns, and screeching tires. This is the logic of the rider who believes their hearing is their primary defense mechanism and that plugging their ears makes them vulnerable. But here is the trap you are falling into. At 60 miles per hour, the wind rushing over your helmet generates roughly 100 decibels of noise. That is the equivalent of a chainsaw running next to your ear. After 15 minutes, you aren't just suffering from temporary threshold shift, meaning hearing damage. You are suffering from fatigue. That constant roar overloads your brain, causes physical stress, and dulls your other senses. Paradoxically, wind noise masks the sounds you need to hear. It creates a wall of white noise that drowns out the distinct frequency of a siren or a car horn. The truth is that high-quality motorcycle earplugs are designed to filter noise, not block it. They cut out the low-frequency boom of the wind while letting high-frequency sounds like sirens, horns, and voices pass through. When you cut the wind noise, you can actually hear the traffic better because the background interference is gone. You stay fresher, sharper, and more alert for longer. Buy a box of foam plugs or custom-molded filters today and wear them on every ride over 40 miles per hour. You will be shocked at how much calmer and more focused you feel when you get off the bike. Now that you've saved your hearing, let's save your legs. The next myth is a mechanical mistake that snaps engines in half, and you might be doing it every single time you pick up a wrench. Number 14, a tighter chain is a safer chain. Next up is a mechanical myth that destroys engines. Riders see a bit of slack in their chain and panic, thinking, I don't want the chain slapping around. If it's loose, it might jump off the sprocket. They grab the wrenches and tighten it up like a guitar string, equating tight with precision and safety. Physics disagrees. A motorcycle suspension moves. As the rear wheel moves up over a bump, the distance between the front sprocket and the rear sprocket increases. The chain needs slack to accommodate this geometry change. If you over-tighten the chain, when you hit a bump, the suspension cannot compress because the chain acts like a solid steel bar binding the swing arm. This transfers the shock directly to the chassis and the tires, causing a loss of traction. In extreme cases, a tight chain will snap under tension, cracking your engine case or whipping into your leg. Slack is your friend. A properly adjusted chain should look loose when the bike is unloaded. Check your chain tension while sitting on the bike to load the suspension. If it is tight as a bowstring, loosen it immediately. It is infinitely better to be slightly too loose than slightly too tight. I know this is controversial. Some of you swear you need to hear every squeak of the engine to feel safe. You swear you need a tighter chain. I want to know your preference. Let me know your style in the comments right now. And yes, a broken chain is terrifying, but this next myth is invisible. It tricks you into thinking your bike is safe when you are actually riding on ticking time bombs that will turn a hard corner into an ice rink. Number 13. If the tread is good, the tire is safe. You are buying a used bike. You look at the tires and say, wow, plenty of tread left. These are good for another season. You assume that tread depth is the only indicator of a tire's health. This is a dangerous oversight that sends people sliding across the pavement. Tires are chemical products. Over time, the volatile compounds in the rubber evaporate, a process accelerated by UV late in heat cycles. A tire that is 7 years old might have perfect tread depth, but the rubber has turned into bakelite. It is hard, brittle, and non-compliant. These hockey puck tires offer zero mechanical grip. They won't warm up. In a panic stop or a cold corner, they won't deform to grip the asphalt. They will just slide across it like hard plastic. Go check your tires right now. If they are older than 5 years, replace them. Even budget modern tires are safer than premium tires that have turned to stone. You have fresh rubber, but do you actually know how to use it? This next myth comes straight from watching racing on TV, and it is making you slow, lazy, and unable to dodge a car in an emergency. Number 12, you steer the bike by shifting your weight. This is a classic misunderstanding perpetuated by watching MotoGP riders hanging off their machines. Riders say, I steer with my hips, I lean off, and the bike turns. They believe that body weight is the primary mechanism for turning a motorcycle. This belief leads to lazy, dangerous steering. In an emergency, say a car pulls out 10 feet in front of you, shifting your weight is too slow and ineffective. You cannot swerve a 400-pound gyroscopic machine quickly just by leaning your torso. 𝐏𝐄𝐑, the legendary riding instructor, built a no BS bike with fixed handlebars to prove this. No matter how much riders threw their weight around, the bike simply would not turn without handlebar input. Countersteering is the only way to turn a motorcycle efficiently. To turn left, you push on the left grip. To turn right, you push on the right grip. This manipulates the gyroscopic forces in the tire geometry to lean the bike instantly. Body position is for stability and ground clearance, not for initiating the turn. Go to an empty parking lot and consciously keep your body dead center while steering only by pushing the bars. Feel how instant and violent the response is. That is your survival tool. I know the counter-steering debate gets heated. Some old-school riders swear it's all in the hips. Where do you stand? Are you a handlebar pusher or a body leaner? Fight it out in the comments below. Now, let's move on. Number 11. If you drop your helmet, it is ruined. You are at a gas station. Your helmet slips off the seat and hits the concrete with a thud. Your heart sinks. You have been told that one impact destroys a helmet, so now you think you have to throw your $600 shoey in the trash. This myth discourages people from buying quality helmets because they treat them like fragile eggs. Helmets are designed to absorb energy by compressing the expanded polystyrene foam liner. This compression only happens when there is a heavy weight, your head, inside the helmet pushing against the foam during an impact. When an empty helmet falls 3 feet, the outer shell might chip, but the inner foam rarely compresses because there was no mass inside to crush it. Unless the outer shell is cracked or the fall was from a significant height, the helmet is likely structurally sound. Inspect the helmet. Your helmet is safe, but your mind is being tricked. The next myth is the deadliest psychological trap in riding. It convinces you that you are safe right before a car pulls out and ends your ride. Number 10. Eye contact means they see you. You are approaching an intersection. A car is waiting to turn left. You look at the driver. He looks right at you. You lock eyes. You think, okay, he sees me. I'm safe. You proceed through the intersection and he pulls out right in front of you. This is the deadliest psychological trap in riding. It is called inattentional blindness or saccadic masking. The human brain is designed to filter out information it deems irrelevant. Drivers are looking for cars. A motorcycle, which is smaller, is often filtered out by the brain even if the eyes physically register it. Assume you are invisible. Eye contact means absolutely nothing. The driver can look through you and see the empty road behind you. Never rely on a driver's gaze to guarantee your safety. Weave slightly in your lane as you approach an intersection. The lateral motion breaks the camouflage and triggers the driver's peripheral vision, making you stand out as a moving object. They didn't see you. Now you are panicking. This next myth involves a button on your handlebars that you think is a force field, but in reality, pressing it is just wasting the split second you need to survive. Number 9. Use your horn to alert drivers. A car starts drifting into your lane. You mash the horn button. Beep, beep. You expect the driver to snap to attention and swerve back. You rely on the horn as a force field. Here is the problem. Modern cars are hermetically sealed sound booths. They have double-pane glass, sound-deadening insulation, and stereos. A dinky motorcycle meep-meep horn is barely audible inside a modern SUV at highway speeds. Evade first, honk never. In a true emergency, you do not have time to honk. If you have time to honk, you are not in an emergency yet. Your handlebars and brakes are your safety devices, not your horn. Treat your horn like it is broken. If a car invades your space, assume they won't hear you. Use the throttle to escape or the brakes to yield. Don't bet your life on a beep. You survived the car, but can you survive the road? Riders constantly mess up this next setting because they want to feel like a racer, but they are actually turning their bike into a pogo stick with zero traction. Number 8. Stiff suspension means better handling. I want my bike to handle like a race bike. Riders crank up their compression and rebound damping, making the suspension rock hard. They believe that eliminating body roll makes the bike faster and safer. But suspension exists to keep the tire in contact with the road. On a racetrack, the surface is smooth glass, so stiff suspension works. On the street, the surface is garbage. Potholes, ripples, frost heaves, and gravel. If your suspension is too stiff, it cannot absorb these imperfections. Instead of the wheel moving up to absorb a bump, the entire bike is deflected upward. The tire skips across the surface. A skipping tire has zero traction. A stiff bike on a bumpy road is nervous, skittish, and prone to washing out. Compliance is grip. For the street, you want the suspension as soft as possible without wallowing. It needs to absorb the hits so the chassis stays stable. A softer setup allows the tire to follow the contours of the road, maintaining the contact patch. Reset your suspension to the factory street settings. Don't mimic track settings for your Sunday ride. If you are bouncing out of the seat over bumps, you are losing grip. Setting up suspension is a dark art. Most riders never touch their clickers. If you want us to do a dedicated video on how to set up your suspension for the street, click that like button right now and subscribe. We will show you how. Number 7. Going slower is always safer. Speed kills, so I'll just putter along at 10 miles per hour under the limit. New riders often believe that riding significantly slower than the flow of traffic is a safety bubble. This is a dangerous fallacy. Speed differential is what kills. If the traffic is flowing at 70 and you are doing 50, you have become a rolling chicane. Cars are approaching you from behind at 20 miles per hour relative speed. You are forcing everyone to brake, swerve, and pass you. This creates turbulence and aggression around you. You are constantly being overtaken, which puts you in blind spots and exposes you to rear-end collisions, the type of crash you have the least control over. Safety is in the flow. The safest speed is slightly faster than the surrounding traffic. This puts you in control. You are approaching obstacles from the front, where you can see them, rather than having obstacles approach you from behind. Don't be a road boulder. Match the speed of traffic or go 1 to 2 miles per hour faster. Be the predator, not the prey. You are moving with traffic, but are you dressed for the slide? The old guard will scream at you for this next one, but modern technology has made their favorite material obsolete for the street. Number 6. Textile gear shreds instantly / leather is mandatory. If you aren't wearing leather, you aren't safe. The old guard believes that textile jackets, cordura, mesh, Kevlar, will melt into your skin or shred like tissue paper in a slide. They view anything synthetic as inferior. This belief leads riders to buy heavy, hot, uncomfortable leather gear that they hate wearing. So when it's 90 degrees out, they leave the leather at home and ride in a t-shirt because if I can't wear the best, I won't wear anything. Alternatively, they ignore high-tech textile options that are waterproof, vented, and armored, suffering in misery for no reason. The truth is that modern textiles are rated for war. High-quality modern motorcycle textiles usually have CE ratings of AA or even AAA, the same abrasion resistance as leather. They come with D30 armor that hardens on impact. Unless you are sliding at 100 miles per hour on a track, a high-quality textile suit offers massive protection and is far more practical for the street. Look for the CE rating label inside the jacket. If it says A or AA, it is safe for street speeds. Wear the gear that fits the weather, because the safest gear is the gear you are actually wearing. You are geared up. Now, who are you riding with? This next myth is the biggest lie about community. You think having buddies around protects you, but statistics show they are the ones most likely to cause your crash. Number 5. Group riding provides safety in numbers. Cars will see a pack of 6 bikes better than one. Riders join group rides thinking they are safer surrounded by their buddies. It feels communal and protected. In reality, group rides are often carnage waiting to happen. It introduces the yo-yo effect, where the front speeds up and the back has to race to catch up, leading to reckless speeds. More dangerously, it triggers target fixation. You stop watching the road and start watching the rear tire of the guy in front of you. If he blows a corner, you follow him right into the ditch. You also succumb to peer pressure, riding faster than your skill level to avoid looking like the slow one. You are riding solo together. Most multi-bike accidents happen within the group, riders crashing into each other during braking or cornering. The visual of safety in numbers is offset by the chaos of untrained formation riding. If you ride in a group, ride your own ride. Leave a massive gap. Don't trust the leader's line. If they go fast, let them go. Meet them at the next stop sign, alive. Your buddies can't save you, and neither can this piece of plastic. This next myth gives riders a dangerous Superman complex. You need to know exactly what your armor can and cannot fix before you take a hit. Number 4. Back protectors prevent broken backs. You slip that foam pad into your jacket or strap on a hard-shell spine protector. You feel like Superman. My spine is armored. I can take a hit. This is the safety equipment compensation effect. You take bigger risks because you feel invincible, but you misunderstand what the armor does. Back protectors are designed to prevent contusions, abrasions, and punctures. They stop gravel from chewing up your skin and mitigate direct impacts from flat surfaces. They do not prevent torsional injuries, compression fractures like landing on your head, or hyperextension. Armor cannot fight physics. If you hit a curb at 50 miles per hour, the kinetic energy has to go somewhere. A piece of plastic on your back won't stop your vertebrae from crushing if your body folds in half. Wear the armor, absolutely, but do not let it give you false confidence. Ride as if you are naked. The armor is for the slide, not for the impact with a solid object. This is a controversial one. Some riders won't leave the house without a full airbag vest, and some ride in t-shirts. What is your non-negotiable piece of gear? Tell me in the comments. Wait, take a breath. If you are feeling defensive, good. That means you are thinking. But the top 3 myths are the ones that fill the graveyards. Don't just watch this video and nod. Like this video and subscribe for more tips like this. If you commit to fixing just these last 3, your chances of survival skyrocket. Do you have the guts to take responsibility for your ride? Let's get into it. Number 3, most crashes happen at high speeds on the highway. Riders are often terrified of the highway. They think speed is the enemy. I'll stick to the surface streets. It's safer. They visualize exploding in a fireball at 70 miles per hour. The paradox is that highways are actually statistically safer per mile traveled. Everyone is going the same direction. There are no intersections. There are no left-turning cars. The safety of surface streets is a lie. That is where the chaos is. Driveways, pedestrians, red light runners, and the dreaded left-turning car. Most accidents happen under 30 miles per hour, within 5 miles of your home. Fear the intersection, not the interstate. The intersection is the kill zone. When you are just running to the store in your neighborhood, your guard is down. You are relaxed. That is when the soccer mom in the minivan T-bones you. Keep your head on a swivel in town. Treat every intersection like a war zone. Do not relax just because you are going 30 miles per hour. That is fast enough to kill you. The roads are dangerous, but your ego is worse. This next myth is shouted by veterans with gray beards, but having years in the saddle doesn't mean you have skill. It just means you've been lucky. Number 2, I've been riding 20 years. I don't need training. The veteran rider says, I've survived this long. I know what I'm doing. Courses are for newbies. They equate tenure with talent. But there is a massive difference between 20 years of experience and 1 year of experience repeated 20 times. Without coaching, most riders develop bad habits early on, crossing up in corners, grabbing the brake, stiff arms, and then cement those habits over decades. They aren't skilled, they are lucky, and luck eventually runs out. When a true emergency happens, their muscle memory is actually panic memory, and they freeze. Skill degrades without practice. Riding is an athletic, perishable skill. Even MotoGP riders have coaches. If you haven't taken an advanced rider course or done a track day with instruction, you are likely riding at 20% of the bike's capability and your own potential. Swallow your pride. Sign up for an advanced riding clinic or a parking lot control course this summer. You will be amazed at how much you didn't know. It makes riding more fun, not just safer. Do you like this video? Click that like button, and if you want to support us even more, become a member. Have early access to the newest videos. So your luck just ran out. You crashed. This final myth is the ultimate cop-out. It is the one sentence that prevents you from ever getting better, and it starts with pointing the finger at someone else. Number 1, it was the car's fault. We end with the ultimate cop-out. He pulled out in front of me. She cut me off. There was gravel. Riders love to externalize the blame. We view ourselves as victims of the road, helpless against the stupidity of cagers. This is the victim mindset. While legally the car might be at fault, physics doesn't care about the law. If you are dead, being right doesn't matter. By blaming the car, you absolve yourself of responsibility. You tell yourself, there was nothing I could do. If you believe there was nothing you could do, you won't try to learn or improve. You will make the same mistake again. You are the captain of your ship. In almost every multi-vehicle motorcycle accident, there was a moment where the rider could have altered the outcome. Could you have slowed down approaching that blind drive? Could you have been in a different lane position? Could you have predicted the driver's stupidity? Even in a single vehicle crash with gravel, you chose the speed and the line. Adopt radical responsibility. After any close call, ask, what did I do to put myself in that position? And what could I have done to prevent it? Stop blaming the cars. Expect them to be stupid. It is your job to outsmart them, not to just complain about them. Control what you can control. You. Click the next video to continue the road trip. Join our tribe by subscribing. And if you want to support our channel and have early access on the newest videos, become a member. And don't forget to like this video.